We are back with a special edition of our Big Board. We're dealing with more of the questions in the wake of that Manchester terror attack. Our friend, child psychiatrist Janet Taylor here. Welcome back. We're going to talk to you in just a minute about addressing fears, but first we want to talk about keeping safe at big venues like concert arenas and stadiums. John Matthews, Executive Director of the Community Safety Institute, is here. And John, what kind of things should people think about as they go to events like this?
Well, the first thing you need to know is to avoid the crowd, that main rush of people that leave the venue right when the concert or the show ends. For me and my family, we either leave early before the event ends or we wait late. 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes is all it takes to avoid being out of that crowd, and it will mitigate your chances of being a victim of terror.
And John, you just suggested leaving a few minutes early before the crowd, but this bomber hit before the bulk of the crowd exited the venue. So what do you do in that case?
He actually did. That was kind of the first wave that was going out. The concert had actually ended. I'd say leave 5, 8 minutes early, 10 minutes early. What you want to do is you want to be out either before or after that main body of people come through those exit doors. That terrorist is looking for the highest body count possible.
And then we did see in this instance as well, it seems like a lot of people may have been hurt, injured, or maybe even killed in the stampede and the panic after the attack. How do you keep your head in a situation like that? What kinds of things do you look to do?
One of the things you look is for cover, a steel beam, a post, a brick wall that you can hide behind, kind of like a salmon moving upstream. They'll wait behind a rock and let the water flow around them. You want to take cover so the crowd flows around you. Grab your family, hold them close, let that main body of people go by, then you'll be safe to exit.
All right, let's bring Dr. Taylor into this. And of course, it's always difficult to talk to your children about terrorist attacks, but this one is particularly challenging because so many young people were targeted. One of the victims was an 8-year-old girl. And Dr. Taylor, how should you talk to your kids about something like this?
Well, you ask what they've seen, what they've heard. It's an opportunity for you to weigh in about how you feel, because invariably they're feeling something. And also you listen, not only with your ears, but listen in a way to understand exactly what they're saying. For instance, they may say, "Oh, I'm okay," but you may notice a tear or something different in their body language.
But you make the point, parents only one player in this. They're going to hear a lot on social media, hear a lot from other kids. Not much you can do to control that.
Right. And so what you want to do is remind them of how they're protected, remind them of how they're safe, go over safety rules. What would you do in an emergency? And also connect them. Times like this make us feel helpless. We hear the victims, we hear the stories. So how can we help other people within our reach one-to-one? Volunteer, write Goodwill cards that you send either to Manchester or send to your local children's hospital. And also focus on what's good. There still are a lot more people who are good, and focus on what that goodness is so that we can balance the negativity and balance the evilness with good things that we're doing with our families and with ourselves.
And Dr. Taylor and John, this is the question for both of you. How do you make your kids feel safe and empowered without scaring them? That's the challenge.
Well, one of the key factors of terrorism is the psychological after effects, and it makes you afraid to do things that you normally do. So notice that and don't be afraid. You have to go to school, you have to participate. Do what you do normally, but do it with an aware eye.
And John, how about you?
Yeah, I talk to them before we go to an event. We have a plan. I tell them you can't control what the other person's going to do, but you can control what we're going to do. And Mom and Dad are going to keep you safe. We're going to protect you. If anything happens, you stay right with us, listen to directions, and we're going to get out okay.
And it's good, clear advice, sir. Thank you both very much. Coming up in 2